kids who put to extent that you know what you're doing.
Tate's younger than...
It's appealing to Jeremiah 31. Even if they don't know what they're doing, yes, they can be.
And I pointed out the last room, not just yesterday, whatever the room was the night before, I don't know, one of these last rooms, is that
I saw a pretty interesting argument for why I should not be as doomer as I am. But it's like pretty complicated. It's like, listen, there's some chance we'll never build artificial superintelligence. We'll give that 10%. There's some chance of alignment by default via sufficiently strong behavioral training. There's chance that we'll solve the alignment problem with better methods. That there's some chance that the AGI couldn't actually kill everyone. And so each of these like probabilities keeps lowering their total probability that like this is some scary fucking thing.
That's the first time I've ever...
Blacks, I fuck with Mexicans. I'm just saying I grew up with around Mexicans more than blacks.
Population. I could be wrong. No, it is. And the car lobby. Yeah, I mean, it's all interconnected. Yeah, car lobby. Density.
No, that's how being more gray around.
Yeah.
But it's not like some Southerners didn't think about that. I can think of one politician from the 19th century who thought it would have been a good idea to have at least open transportation in the South. That would have been John C. Calhoun.
Yeah. Sherry, who did he say would build it?
that I do not know. But, I mean, he agreed with the idea of expanding the South that way. He did.
I think he would have our ancestors building it. That's probably who.
And you're probably right. But, yeah, he did see, yeah. Yeah, he went about it. But he was few. It was not many. But he does come to mind.
Anything
else, Jess? Did you want to talk more on it? Did you have a particular thing to dig in on it?
Well, not necessarily particular. I guess it was more so about like how public transportation kind of like is halted in Atlanta, and I don't know if that's just mainly because it's specifically MARTA. Because I'm just kind of not getting into the whole MARTA issue across like Metro Atlanta. So like,
why don't you leave?
You said what?
Why don't you just leave?
What, leave Atlanta?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I just moved back, so I think I got a little bit more time here. But
where?
Huntsville, Alabama, actually.
But why don't you just leave?
It's on the list. I think I'm moving my 30s.
Why don't you just? I always forget. You be fooling people. People think you're great. People think you're old.
Yeah, me and Library are peers. Yes.
There's a lot going on here. Why don't you just move to DC?
See, DC is on the list, but DC, everything would have to be perfect because the cost of living in DC is insane to me. I don't know. I don't like it. But if the job paid well, and I was in like the perfect area, I would actually move to DC. I like DC. Every time I visit, I've had a good time. The traffic is a fool.
Well, you wouldn't need to drive. You would just live in the city.
Yeah, I'll take the train. Yeah.
Well, I wouldn't recommend taking. Well, I'm old. I no longer take. I haven't taken the DC Metro. What year? 2025. Oh, I put that in my head. I was there this weekend. I haven't taken the DC Metro in. I don't think I've taken it in New York. So I can't go underground at this point. I can't do it. But you young people can do it.
It's a lot.
They have elevators from the sidewalk down to the train station.
No, I don't want to be on the train.
I don't be on the train either, not anymore.
I just don't
I'm down with that.
Yeah, I remember when I visited New York, what was it, 2 years ago? Like, I thoroughly enjoyed taking the train everywhere like that. I could see that. Yeah.
I have to say that I don't miss it.
Were you in Snow? Was it called Snow? Not Snowmageddon. I don't know what you're called. Were you there just when Atlanta traffic got stopped on the 85 or the Beltway a couple years ago? People couldn't move.
Yeah, in 2014. Yeah, I was a junior in high school. Yes.
Oh my God! Wait, it was that long ago? 2014?
Mm-hmm. It's 2014. We were snowed in for I think almost a week. That's when Georgia woke up and realized that they needed to start investing in the stuff for snow. Yeah. I can't believe it's been that long either.
Yes.
Oh,
I remember that. Wow.
How many inches of snow?
For Georgia, it's like a half inch to an inch.
But Sherry, we never gotten that. It's so embarrassing.
Because I live in the East Coast, so snow is not a big, except for those people who like to complain about it. But yeah, I mean, I don't know why people complained about the snowstorm this weekend, but I'm like, y'all had gotten spoiled. See, it hadn't snowed in a while. Folks got spoiled and they forgot that,
Oh, actually, Sherry, it was actually less than that. It was actually only 2 to 3 inches.
And it stopped everything.
It stopped everything. Yeah, it was pretty bad. So yeah, that's I think when we finally started investing in like the salt trucks to kind of help with the highway, because we never gotten snow like that ever. And now, but now this year we didn't get any snow. But they're quick to issue a state of emergency. As soon as it gets below 32, close everything down. You're not going to school tomorrow. It's about to be World War III, end of the world, snow's coming. That's how they just treat it now. So
yeah,
whatever it takes to keep the people safe, I'm all for it.
I'm still happy about Stratton. She's
probably. I mean, she I mean, this is what Adam Carlson says. It seems like she's repeating the Angela also Brooks road to success.
But faster. But faster.
But faster, exactly.
Yeah, I think also Brooks. I gotta go back. Odie remembers it very, very well. But I feel like because their primary is about in a month.
It's March 12th.
March 17th. When is it?
Oh no, maybe it is the 17th. It's like it's literally mid-March.
Yeah,
so right around my dad's birthday.
Yes. I think March 17th is also the Ides of March, isn't it? Wait, the Ides of March.
Let me look it up.
Ides of March. No, it's the 15th.
It's the 15th?
Yeah, you know, Julius Caesar. I need about 10 minutes. Let's talk about Julius Caesar. No.
Because Ides of March.
One of the great, I forgot. One of the great moments. I was on a bus. It was a Chinatown bus. These were buses back when we still had a collective culture that took us from Chinatown to Chinatown. And for those people in the Northeast Corridor, you will remember that because they were a bus where you could go from DC to Baltimore to Philly to wherever, end up in New York. They didn't really stop in Newark that much. For $10, $5, $7. These were Chinatown buses, you see. They had different names, and they effectively, if I recall correctly, put Greyhound out of business and its little brother, Peter Pan.
Are you talking about Megabus?
Well, you had Megabus, you had Funhua Bus, you had Bolt Bus, you had Chinatown Bus, you had Canal Street Bus. I took all of them because there was a cheapness to it, and I could also sit on the bus and read, or I could sit on the bus and contemplate my existence. And so I recall one time I was on the bus. It was a Chinatown bus, a bus that would take you from Chinatown to Chinatown, but they didn't have bus stations. Instead, you had to find yourself in the Baltimore, for example, on the side of a road, Russell Street somewhere, in ongoing traffic with your bags and 50 people lined up on the bus. The bus eventually, some buses had deals with Peter Pan or Greyhound, whatever it was, to use their bus stops, their bus depots. But for a lot of these buses, I remember a particular stop in Baltimore. It might have been not on Pennsylvania Avenue. It was over by the train station, by Penn Station, not Penn North. They would never go. For those of you in Baltimore, they did not go over to the Penn North Station either. But I used to get off the Penn North Station to go to church. I'll take the subway to do stuff at church. You have to walk for a church for Penn North, boy. I was about up. I don't know. I'm still alive, but I made it. That's why. If you've been out of Baltimore in the 80s and 90s, you definitely believe in God. That's a different discussion. But it was over by. It may have been on Charles Street. Speaking of which, ever in Baltimore, there's a place called Brewer's Art. They have the best macaroni and cheese in the world. It's called Brewer's Art. You can eat down in the basement where they do the brewery. You can eat upstairs. They have a nice bar restaurant. Also a lovely steak free with what? A pink peppercorn sauce. Absolutely delicious. But that's a different discussion. Let me continue. The bus stop, Sherry, was in the middle of the road. So if you were just driving downtown, you would look to the right and you would see 40 people
Did you lose your train of thought?
No, I'm reading what Matt wrote. Wait, did the VRA come out yet?
Nope, but it's coming. It's going to be later this week or possibly next. But Alito clearly has it, and I think the VRA is gone.
Why do you think he has it?
Because of the fact that only he and Gorsuch haven't had any cases. Everybody else has had cases.
I can't believe that the chief is going to write. I can't believe that John Roberts is going to vote. Well, there may be a majority. Well, I don't know. That would be very strange to me if he's letting Alito write it. But we'll see. I think Alito is also like lazy. He's kind of not doing much anymore. I think he's on the way out. I don't think it's going to be Alito. I'll talk about hope. Anyway, the bus, you would see 40 people on the middle of the street. They were all with luggage. If someone were to swerve, these are busy streets, they would have killed 20 to 40 people every time. And yet for $10, $5 in some instances, one would risk their life to get on the bus. The bus would then pull up to the location and let people get on the bus. You see. And so I was taking one of those buses. It was a Chinatown bus, which will connect you in the Northeast Corridor from Chinatown to Chinatown. You see. And so these buses, I was on one time. These buses were mobile, crime, interstate, federal crime scenes. If you went on the bus, you would have seen a multiracial population. Overrepresented would have been students at colleges and universities. What are you reading there? I'm reading my biology projects. I'm a pre-med, so I've got a test coming up on this particular biological mechanism. What are you reading? Some sociology, Durkheim. What are you reading? Oh, I'm reading in child psychology. It's a neo Piaget. What are you reading? There's just people, all kinds of people who were involved. It was like a lot of college students. It was also a bus, if you recall, that is what I call an interstate ass bus. Because if you wanted to see one of your joints in another state and you didn't have money, you got on that bus. What are you doing on the bus? Well, I got a joint up in Philadelphia. Huh? Yeah, I'm gonna get off in Philly. I'm gonna be back. I'm gonna be back in Baltimore, but it only costs me $3, son. You know what I'm saying? I see. Cheaper than Amtrak, cheaper than Greyhound. And the gag is, you might get there faster on the Chinatown bus than if you took
Greyhound
and Amtrak.
Yes,
because Amtrak, depending on if you're on the regular Amtrak and not the Acela Amtrak, the Amtrak on certain points of the Northeast Corridor, in between like Philadelphia, when you get to Wilmington, on your way to New Jersey, it's only going 45 miles per hour. The Chinatown bus, if you are old enough, you will remember a movie by the name of Big Trouble in Little China. Huh? Big Trouble in Little China was a bus. Was a movie in the 80s.
That was with Kurt Russell.
It was Kurt Russell, of course. In the beginning of that movie, When they get to San Francisco, watch this. Watch what I just did. There was a character by the name of Egg Shen. Egg Shen, who ends up helping Kurt Russell and Wang Shi and Kim Cattrall's character Gracie Law, and of course Mao Yin, played by Suzy Pai, when he goes up against Lopin in the beginning of the movie, he did what? He was a bus tour driver in Chinatown, where? In San Francisco. And if you remember how Egg Shen was driving that bus, it was the prototype, archetype, tintype of how these subsequent Chinatown buses were driven by their bus drivers. In other words, they were reckless, they didn't give a fuck, and they got there however they motherfucking got there. Which is to say is that the bus for the Chinatown bus was often going 90 miles per hour. When the Chinatown bus got on, watch this, the New Jersey Turnpike, when you cross from Delaware and the Delaware Bridge into New Jersey, you can go to the right and take yourself to Atlantic City. You know, that highway, that's the highway that Nucky was building in Boardwalk Empire. Huh? You can go to the right, or you can keep going straight. You can keep going to exit 6, I think it is, right around they get to 295, go to Philadelphia. I would recommend going that way to Philadelphia. I would go to the bridge the other way, but you can go that way. The Chinatown bus would get in the left lane, and it was going as fast as a fucking Ferrari, as fast as a Maserati. Those people did not give a fuck, and we never got pulled over. And then about halfway through the trip, they would stop somewhere for us to use the bathroom, to buy some M&Ms, to buy some Reese's Cups, to buy some, watch this, peanut chews. What happened to all the peanut chews? I went to get some peanut chews the other day. I can't eat peanuts in my home. I wanted to have a peanut chew. A peanut chew of a small dark chocolate treat with a little bit of nougat, peanut, chocolate. I couldn't find it. I would stop then and get a peanut chew. I would also get, watch this, a bottle of water, because back then buying water was not the norm, but it was a luxury of sorts. So I would, of course, get, watch this, Evian water or a Fiji water, because Aquafina water tastes like dingleberried ass. You see. And so then you would go back out and you would see your bus driver, for the purposes of this story, let's call him Egg Shen. He would be laid up in a striped shirt, khaki pants, one leg back, like his leg akimbo up against the bus, with a slight cigarette, hair disheveled, and slight little bit of grease. Sir, what were you doing? I had to check something on the bus. I had to check something on the bus. And all of a sudden there was smoke coming out of the bus. You then got back on the bus and you made it. You celebrated the fact that you made it to your destination. Once you celebrated that fact, you then realized the money that you just saved on a train ticket or a Greyhound bus ticket, you just spent twice that, because you went to a diner in the village and got a bacon cheeseburger with fries, which cost you $27 in 2003. But one time, and this is why I got to the story. I forgot. Why did we start the story? What were we talking about?
Well, you were explaining, you said you had a Caesar story.
There it is. One time, the bus was at a rest stop. And the Egg Shen our driver, Egg Shen, said, "We wait for another bus." Huh? Won't start. It stopped working. And one person decided that they were going to be up in arms about the bus not working. And then someone asked her, "How often do you take the Chinatown bus?" And she said, "All the time." And then that same person said, "Well, how much did you pay?" She said, $10. "Where did you get on?" "Baltimore." "Where are you going?" "New York City." "How much money have you saved over the year or so riding the Chinatown Express, the Chinatown bus?" "Hundreds of dollars." "Well, ma'am, odds are one of them was going to break down because you're paying $10 a seat." You know what she did? She said, "You're right." Then another person, Sherry, said, "One way we can pass the time is to take out these copies of Shakespeare's Julius Caesar. We can cast it, and here in this rest stop, we can do an impromptu performance outside of Julius Caesar in front of the Chinatown bus stop. And they passed out the script: Decius, Brutus, Cassius, Portia, Calpurnia, Caesar, Mark Antony. And the people decided that rather than be upset, they're going to turn the occasion into a Shakespeare, not at the park, but at the Jersey Turnpike rest stop. And they performed it. You will only get that from people who ride the boat bus, Funghua, Chinatown Express. I'm done speaking. It's a good story. It's a good story. Good story. Thank you, Gigi.
Yeah,
now, Gigi, you told me to go
shout
deeper.
out to the bus stop.
Gigi, you told me to go deeper. I can't go any deeper. I ran out of Gigi, I can't go deeper. I ran out of
I can now. Let me take it a little deeper.
Break it down.
All right. Let me take over real quick. So we talking about the bus stop. That's a fabulous story, hilarious, definitely entertaining. So he kept it surface, but let's go a little deeper with that bus stop, right? So let me tell you about it once upon a time, right? These people sitting at that bus stop, they stuck there, right? They got dropped off, right? And that $10 ride, it was really $5. And guess what? They only got $2, right? So now they standing stuck in the middle of the highway at the bus stop. Let's talk about this woman. And so guess what? Now they sitting there. Oh, we're about to get deep, little dark. I hope we don't get offended. Okay? Now we got these fallacious women sitting around these big old trucks pulling on. I'm talking about 18-wheelers, honey. And they having a hard time just to find a parking spot. And then they get out, right? They go out, get their little food. They got KFC. They got McDonald's, Popeyes. They got everything you can imagine inside that bus stop, right? They got showers. They take their time, and then they got the hose. And they be sitting and lurking, honey. It's about to get used to, baby. So now you got these women. This one particular girl. She was sitting at the bus stop for almost 2 days. Nowhere to go. Ain't got no money. Don't know who to call or to run to. And just stuck at the bus stop. And so when these heroes, these superheroes, these macho men, big and shit, they jumping up out the motherfucking trucks, look like football got their motherfucking blast. And she like, oh, I need some help. So, cause she gonna, she already gonna need everything. But, she try to be nice about it and stuff and say, keep, a sandwich or something because, she's starving. Honestly, it'd be nice to buy her a sandwich because, she's starving, right? So they'd be nice. All right, they'll buy you a sandwich, and on their way out, she like following them to the truck. And they like to take a little nap because these are people that are driving 16, 15 hours straight, if not more. And so they like to go in their trucks and they like to go to sleep. And this bitch come by like this. And he's like, is somebody knocking on my fucking door? Yes. And he gets up out his comfy little cushion in the back. The peep, and it's I ain't even gonna say color, but it's a woman sitting out there looking like she needs some help. And so he's like, what? And she like, I'm hungry. Can you help me? I'm just hungry. Can you buy me some food? I'll give you some service. And so him feeling bad because them truck drivers, let me tell you, first of all, they ain't broke. Some of them truck drivers, they make over 6 figures, honey. Them long ass cargo packages, they be shipping all up and down the country. They getting paid very well for that. And they know that. That's why these hoes be sitting around them truck stops. And she knocking on the window talking about he buy her a sandwich because, they gotta work. They're like, okay. That's all he had to do. And because, you give her a few dollars to let her go buy a sandwich, and you know what happens when you feed a dog, baby. They ain't going nowhere. And now she back at the door. It's cold outside, Kim. You want to hang out? Can I come in for a little bit? Next thing, this is a nasty story. I'm telling fat style, but next thing he looking like she need a few dollars. He been on the road for probably 5 days. Why not get this off real quick? Okay. You feel like you're doing good to the community, right? You give, you get back. And so you let the girl in the damn car. Next thing you know, she all over you. She all down there, baby. Not doing your old freak night in the back of the truck. And this is where it's gonna take a twist. And this is a warning to everybody, so y'all know not to do this shit. Next thing you know, this girl had a rope around her head. And she didn't even see it coming. Okay? She was literally fucking naked in the back of the damn truck. And now she had a rope on the back of her head. And it's being pulled on a string in 2 seconds like this. And she tried to figure out who the fuck got it. It's him. Yep, he did it. And now you in the back of his goddamn big ass 16, 18 wheeler truck with a rope around your head, bucket fucking naked, and just up and stuck. And the man that you thought you seen when you first looked at does not look like the man you looking at now. That's right, honey. He on top of you. He got your ass tied the fuck up in pig style, bitch. Yes, he gave you that lunch style. He gave you that lunch. He did. And you paid for that, bitch. You paid that price because your ass walked the fuck up in that truck, though. And then now, she's stuck in the back trying to figure out, oh my God, is this nigga really trying to kill me? Yes, he is. Dummy. That's why he got the rope around your neck. So now, you got to figure out how you gonna get your way up out of here. So you just stop fighting. Let him have his fun and get the fuck out, right? That's like, oh, he had his goddamn fun, baby. Yes, he did. He had his fun, honey. And then as soon as it was time to like get the fuck ain't no happy story. This ain't no happy ending. I can make it one if you want me to. Do y'all want me to make it a happy ending or not? Because I can make it realistic. So we're gonna make it realistic. Want to know a happy story, baby? I mean, this is something that's happening every day. If you read like a lot of documentaries, and so I'm just bringing awareness to it. Real life things that be happening, but I'll make it PG. And so, all right. So, once he got done torturing her, literally for fun, he took the strings off, and she started coughing and choking on the floor. She threw up. He opened up the door, kicked her out, and rolled the fuck away like nothing ever happened. And then when she ran inside that little store at the same truck stop and said, this nigga just took all advantage of me, they didn't believe her. They thought she was a drug addict. They didn't believe him. They didn't even bother to call the cops. She just had to sit there with a ring around her neck, like ring around a rosy. And she warned every other woman sitting around the bus stop, truck stop. That particular truck right there, that big 1816 bullet, she couldn't even count. Okay? That's all white with the red on the top and a little brown in the back. Don't go knocking on his door. And that's the end of the story. And I'm just adding to being truck stop story because I think as women, we got to be realistic and let people know. Don't be jumping in on these goddamn big ass weirdos motherfucking nigga truck telling you that'd be the last thing you have to do sometimes. I watch too many documentaries. I told you a truck stop story.
Sorry. See this? It's been like that for 2 months, and I'm as happy as I've ever been in my life. You know?
How you gonna buy a ring for your fiance?
You're not even gonna believe what I did, man. I had 60 pieces of silver, and
you are an engineer. This is what engineers doing, and you are doing engineering like engineers do now, right? It's amazing, and I'm just loving everything about that, right? And what you quickly discover is that Claude points out, and what you immediately described in what you're building is that not that Claude doesn't make you over engineer everything. You've been under engineering.
Decline.
Why not have fun?
Is constantly happening, or is all that the right?
Something else needs to be separate. And so I always think about that when it comes to artists and the way they present themselves, because they're always trying to remove themselves from the regular society and saying, hey, I'm an artist. So maybe that's why she's so wacky, crazy.
No, ja его лично не знаю, но я знаю о его существовании. Но он не мой приятель.
Я думал, это ваш чемпион.
Да, он наш чемпион, но я лично его не видел никогда. Ты никогда не был в России. Ты русский язык выучил в Америке.
Да.
Понятно. Где? В Нью-Йорке?
You're an Ishmaelite. You're from East India. You're from Muhammad. You're from that new fake false Quran.
Something like that. And so I personally don't see that, but I can understand if someone does.
To become the software that you need it to be. That's the new play, and that's what Whopper is trying to solve, because OpenClaw, even getting like OpenClaw, as you will find, Romero, getting Claude Code, getting OpenClaw to do all these things, it requires work. and an easy button is needed. A one button, it just works solution.
For sure, like people that are not used to iterating are going to have a hard time, right? Like I'm coming from the art world where art, the thing that I'm working on is never complete. I just give up. I not give up, but I just say it's good enough, right? And so I've been having a similar experience with Claude Code, building this 2D animation software where, you know, I say, okay, well, this is the features that I want. It implements it. I'm gonna go play with it. Certain things break. No, okay, well, let's fix those breaks. Do it again over and over and over and over again until you get something that resembles the vision or something that surpasses the original vision. I mean, right now you still have to like cut the metal with something, right? You still need to lathe it. But you're right that in the near future we're going to have molecular levels printing, and at that point, like if you can just print molecules, like at that point you can literally print toast or metal, right? You can just set it to toast, and that really fucking amazing toast that you had that one time in Venice. And you got the code for it, right?
Oh, I don't mean that advanced. I just mean like, you know, you could just, you know, maybe you just have like, there's like, I don't know, a few, maybe like 5 little, I don't know, receptacles for like, okay, here you put in like, here's the receptacle for aluminum, here's the receptacle for like soil or compost or whatever, and then here's receptacle for plastic, and you just make sure they're topped off, and then you can build like at least like a minimum amount. You can just like fab those things out of.
Yeah, I mean, you know, Ryan, you know, I love you, but you talk about this as if it's still on the horizon. But if you close your eyes and count to 3, I can give you examples of where they're doing this now. It's
molecular printing. Yeah. Well, I mean, I'm talking about like atomic scale printing at a hobbyist price, right? So like, the first time I saw something about 3D printing was in 1999. And they were using these big vats of gel and using lasers to harden the resin. And it was this big machine that took up, you know, half a wall, and was the size of like 4 Xerox machines put back to back to back. And you go from 1999, where that is the state of the art, to 2026, when you can buy a high-res resin printer that's giving you 8.
What is the proof that Ali said he's muscle? What is the proof that after Ali, the Qadir Khum, they muscle? The Prophet Muhammad said that after me, it's going to be the book and my family.
Whoever I am the leader of, Ali is the
Okay,
leader
I'm willing to accept.
It's the greatest event of Hadiraphone, which completely is ignored.
Yeah, that's proof.
And the focus
I'm not even gonna debate what that means from a Sunni perspective. I'm willing to accept it.
The Sunnis have it in the Hadith.
No, hold on. I'm gonna accept it from a Shia perspective. The Prophet said,
Why? Accept it from a Sunni perspective.
Yeah, Allah, that is why do you do this ADHD shit, bro? Calm down. Give and take, bro. I'm accepting your narrative that the Prophet said, I'm leaving the book and my family.
Bro, I'm not speaking from, one second, I'm not speaking from a Shia position, I'm speaking from an academic position.
Yeah, academic position. Okay, sure. So, given that the Prophet said, I'm leaving my book and I'm leaving my family.
Yeah.
Why do Shia ignore the rest of the lineage and the rest of the family? Why is the focus only on Hussein and the descendants from his Persian wife? Why aren't all the lineage of Ali Masum? And why aren't they imams?
Because if you read
church, and if you aren't qualified to go through that, then it's a fully legal process because the quote unquote
exceeded, right?
I know you ain't no pussy around here.
Wesley from Texas.
Yeah.
Wesley, yeah.
Doris, I haven't heard from him in a long time.
He came in here and started talking about like spreading butt holes and having a girl lick his asshole when he jerked off and shit. He got one.
Oh, really? He said
you know,
that? Oh, wow.
Yeah.
But not until they pulled off. So he sat there. There is
Yeah, so there's a whole book on it, but in a sense, if you look at the story of Ali ibn Abi Talib and the rest of the 12 imams, they did not provide the same sort of proof.
Prophets provide prophecy. Imams provide guidance.
No. Prophets provide miracles.
Prophecy. Yeah, prophecy.
Miracles.
Yeah.
No, so prophecy is different. Miracles is something.
Miracles.
Sure, that's fine. But in general, they provide miracles. Miracles is proof of their prophecy, being prophets.
Who would say the imams didn't provide miracles?
The imams provide. Did the imams like walk on water, or did the imams?
Yeah, much more than that. They control the universe.
Okay, fair enough. All right.
That's why I'm saying you have to look at the corpus, right? They too make that claim. So.
Okay. You know what's wrong with Nargis?
You just need to study each corpus and objectively look at it without judging it or anything.
Nargis, please.
And if you do that, you're not taking a side. You're just looking at it from the outside.
It is completely fine to say I want to come at this from an objective academic perspective.
Yes.
That's completely fine. Hold on, stop interrupting. This is the wrong that you do. When we're saying from an academic objective perspective, it doesn't mean that you're going to look outside of the realm of Islam. You're looking academically and objectively inside Islam, which means that you have to accept certain things. You have to accept that Muhammad was a prophet or a self-proclaimed prophet. Okay, you have to accept that. And then when we ask for the evidence, why are these masums and the others not masum? If the original text that you're basing this off is I'm leaving the book and the family does not specify a single lineage of the descendants of the prophet. It specifies all the lineages descending from the prophet, right? So when I say academically and objectively explain to me why these imams are the only masooms and the ones that Shia follow, and not the rest. You can't say it's all fake. It's based on Nahj al-Balagha book. Of course, okay, sure, but what in Nahj al-Balagha? What is their evidence presented? Because even if when you're dealing with this academically and objectively, you have to come at it from the realm of Islam, not outside of Islam. Outside of Islam, you can say, oh, Muhammad was not a prophet, Islam is fake, end of story. So what are you debating? Come on, bro. Use some brain.
Even if you're doing an internal critique, okay, you have to do the critique based on both corpuses. Now, this is how a true academic would look at it. For not to hold a position, but to hold truth value. You're trying to like figure it out, right? So to say that prophets had miracles, right?
No, you did a fallacy in the chat. Why only Musa and not Harun?
Yeah.
Give me the evidence from
similarly, right?
No, because the text that we're dealing with academically claims the prophet left the book and the family. That's the initial text. When you dissect that text and you scrutinize the Shia sect on the basis of that text, then the question rises: why those and not the others? You're being
why one and not the other?
Disingenuous. You can't bring up Musa and Harun dichotomy. You cannot do that.
Of course you can. Similarly,
how can you do that?
Because that's the claim. That's the claim.
You're basing the Masooms on the basis
Masooms
that
are
the
nothing but
leaving the book and the family. Yes or no? Yes or no? Yes or no?
Yes.
Okay.
Leaving the book and the family.
Then objectively speaking, why only the lineage of Hussein and not Hassan?
Because just like how prophets are picked one at a time, right? By God. That is the claim within them also.
Because we're accepting the premises in Islam, and we're accepting.
They are saying it's the same continuum. They're saying the same methodology follows with Imam also.
What's the evidence?
There's no evidence for prophethood. You provide me evidence for prophethood.
Are you dumb?
No, I'm not dumb. If you're going there, all of these are faith claims. These are faith claims. I have faith, therefore. There's no evidence for anything. These are all faith claims.
No. This is what she does. This is the most.
There, you're providing me no evidence for prophethood.
Lowest form of academic.
What did I say? Steel man me.
No, hold on. Excuse me, sir. You accept you accept initially that the story of the Masooms comes from a text by the prophet that he's leaving the book and the family. And then when we come to scrutinize the Masooms, you claim, show me that prophet is real.
I'm saying it follows the same principle. It follows the same.
If you just allow me.
The parameters of the academic.
There is no such thing as like providing it for it.
The initial.
The prophet is the true prophet.
The parameters, Nargis Habibi, Aziza. The parameters of this conversation is set on the initial acceptance of the text by Muhammad,
which is a faith
can't
claim.
Go outside of that parameter.
I'm making that too is a faith claim. There's no way you can provide me evidence that this person in Arabia, 7th century, who proclaimed prophethood is a true prophet. It's because you have faith he is, right?
I understand that.
Okay, same thing with them also.
We are debating on the basis that Shi'ism, it came from Islam, it is an Islamic sect. Those are the parameters. You cannot go outside of those parameters and start talking about Christianity. Are you dumb?
What are you talking about? I'm following the same premises.
Okay, Goo, can you help us out here, please?
Can someone logical come in, please? Because this requires.
We're debating Shi'ism. And how does the Masoom story stem from Islam? It stems from a text by the Prophet where he claims, or the self-proclaimed prophet.
It's not text. Which text is that? Every word you say, you have to provide evidence.
The text that he's leaving the book and the family.
What is that text? It's a faith claim that he said that, right?
I understand.
Everything is a faith claim.
Please allow me to say something, guys.
I understand objectively it's a faith claim objectively because there's no evidence for it. But when you're debating Shiism, you dumb retard. So you have to accept this thing.
Even
you have to
that's
accept
why I'm
that
saying that too.
their belief is based on the saying of the Prophet.
You're saying why one, not the other, right? Everyone is Masoom, why one, not the other? As prophets come to existence, dude, you're not listening to me, bro. I'm giving you very objective answers.
No, you're not. You're not.
As one is to the other, such is. See, he doesn't even want to listen to what I'm saying. Yeah, I don't think.
I'll
send you the paper for it if you want to read. If you're interested, if you want to debate, then that's a different thing.
Nargis, you're pissing me off because you're not being genuine.
I'm pissing you off because you're not even listening to what I'm saying.
I have no issue debating politics, religion, sociology.
Your weak area is religion, bro.
Muslims, but we are setting the parameters for the topic of the conversation, and you are going outside of the realm of the topic. It's infuriating and retarded. It's low IQ. You can't. Of course, there's no evidence that Allah exists. There's no evidence. Nobody can prove that Allah exists. Nobody can prove that Muhammad was a prophet. But that is
I can prove that God
exists. This conversation.
What do you say? I can provide evidence. Bro, please indulge in logic a little bit. You can easily prove God's existence. You can easily prove a worldview. Okay?
That's not even the topic.
So don't make claims like that. It just shows that.
The topic is Islam. When you are writing a research paper, and you want to scrutinize the Sunniism and Shias, you're going to bring the Shia theology. You're going to say, listen, these guys believe that they have 12 Imam Masums because on the basis of an initial text by the Prophet claiming that he left the book and the family. The family is his family. So all those descendants of his family are Masum. And Muslims should follow the lead of the descendants of the Prophet because they are the leaders of the religion. That is the Shia religion.
PTR, this is Tehran in the future.
It begs the question, why certain descendants of the Prophet and not others? It begs the question. It's a completely normal, objective question that arises from this conversation. Those are the parameters of this conversation. You don't go outside of this parameter to establish something new. Have you ever written a research paper in your life? There's a premise. You only deal with the premise, nothing outside the premise. Fuck.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Good afternoon for everyone. I don't understand the argument here, yeah, friends. I wish you can help me out. Because her first claim was you can't prove the existence of Muhammad, right, yeah, friends?
No,
that's not the comment. She was talking about Masoom, right?
You can talk to me, bro. I'm exhausted. Do you engage in logic or not? If you don't engage in logic, don't talk to me.
The topic is the Shia belief in 12 Muslims.
That's easy to debunk.
Yeah, but objectively, we're
actually, I've been waiting just to speak about this one. Yeah, I'm gonna go logic as much as I can. You see, Masoom, just talk about Masoom. What's the meaning of Masoom? First of all, our Prophet Muhammad has Masoom only for giving us the religion. But as a human being, he made mistakes. There is a surah, Habasa wa tawalla idh ja'ahu al-ama. And you can see in other places when he fought a war in Uhud and didn't know that the people will go to behind the mountain and Khalid ibn al-Walid will take a circle. You see, he's a human being, but whatever comes for giving the religion, he have isma. And this, how do we know? وإنما ما ينطق عن الهوى إنما هو وحي
وما ينطق عن الهوى بل هو وحي.
So yes, so we have the proof from the Quran itself, and this Ma'soom, it's for the religion, and our Prophet is the last Prophet. No one have that isma because they don't have the religion. The religion stops with Prophet Muhammad. This is what happens. We cannot just go and claim someone has asthma because he's from blood. That means there is a lot of asthmas around us we don't know about. And then we jump into that. No, he's get chosen by who and what and who to declare. Our connections with God for giving instructions ended with the last prophet. This is when this ending of the word, our hijjah will start. They will yuqimu alayna al-hijjah with what they're giving us. So no one's after Muhammad have any right to give or establish or make hadith of himself. Even people lived around Muhammad, they only helped carrying and gathering Quran and passing what they heard about Muhammad. They didn't even dare to establish hadith. Thank you very much. Have a good day.
Thank you, Salah. I appreciate you sharing all of those information with us, yes, Mr. And I want to add another thing to the things you've said. There is another ayah which is really clear. The ayah that basically say, يا أيها النبي لما تحرم ما أحل الله لك تبتغي مرضات أزواجك, which is basically translate to, "O Prophet, why do you do tahrim on things that we made it halal?" That literally says that even the Prophet himself, he wasn't a sinless guy, Asad and Narjis. So when you apply the same argument or the same logic on the Prophet, and you have to apply the same logic over his grandsons, like the Ma'soom that you follow, which is like Ali and first you got Ali and Hassan and Hussein, then Ali Sajjad, etc. till we reach Imam al-Mahdi, Asad and Narjis. And one other thing is, I don't understand the logic behind saying everyone who's related to the Prophet is a Ma'soom or is a sinless. Can't we apply the same logic on Banu al-Abbas? You know who are Banu al-Abbas, right? Those are the literal cousins of the Prophet. You have Abbas was the uncle of the Prophet. Then you have Abdullah ibn Abbas. Abdullah ibn Abbas was the direct cousin for the Prophet. It had a lot of sons. And after I don't know 200 or 100 years, we had a whole new caliphate. It's called Khilafat Bani al-Abbas or Khilafat al-Abbasi. Those same people were the cousins of the Prophet. So I don't understand, why do you apply love and basically praising to a part of the family of the Prophet and remove every single privilege from the other side? I don't understand the logic behind it. And one other thing, I don't know if I've heard you well, or because you were basically disclaiming or trying to disprove the existence of the Prophet Muhammad historically. I mean, I can prove that historically without using.
I was not saying any such thing. There's enough evidence for the existence of the historic Muhammad. Peaceful. I would be mad and crazy to make a claim like that. We have enough evidence. In fact, a bit too.
So you guys are sold on the Sunni Iran idea, right?
Oh yeah, I think Sunnis should totally dominate the Middle East.
Hell yeah, go.
Because Sunni dominance beats American dominance.
Fuck you. You're just a little bean in the machine, bro.
Well, I'm still a Roman citizen, so.
America is not Rome, bro.
Yes, it is.
So Rome was a fucking Jewish,
It's the closest thing.
Western liberal democracy.
In terms of how the United States.
In the beginning, yes.
This is such cope. Oh my god.
No. In the beginning, Rome was very much a Jewish-controlled empire, like the original Rome, right? And we subsumed it later. At the end of the day, we don't need states. Now, to the extent we have states, yes, all states are satanic, so I'd rather be on the side of the winning one.
And guess what? The Jewish lobby did influence Rome back then as it does now, right? When they lobbied Pilate to kill Christ. That was the Jewish lobby.
Yep.
So it sounds like these are Jewish empires instead of Roman empires. So this is just a new Jew empire.
But look, history always repeats itself, right? history always repeats itself. Ultimately, Rome will do exactly what it did in 70 AD. It's only a matter of time. This is why Netanyahu was warning about the next battle with Rome. He doesn't care about Palestine.
No shit, he doesn't care about Palestine. He conquered Palestine.
The thing is, the Jew, at the end of the day, his greatest fear will always be, people like Francis and Leo. This is what keeps them up at night, nightmarishly. I mean, it's just true. Like, this is so true. This is literally who they hate and fear more than anyone else.
Bro, these are their best friends.
Nah, bro. Pope Francis is the best friend.
Their best friends.
Pope Francis is the best friend of the Jews?
No, the new Rome.
Oh, you're talking about America.
Yeah, your new Rome.
Yeah, I'm not talking about state.
Yeah, he's talking about ecclesiastical Rome, not civil Rome.
Yeah, civil Rome makes no.
What does that even mean?
Okay, civil Rome is basically the West. Western states, Western hegemony, blah, 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 right? We don't need that. But to the extent it exists, I'm more than happy to, benefit from it. Since every state is somewhat satanic, yeah, I might as well be part of the most powerful one. And most powerful one that I'm part of might as well rule, right? So yes, I do support, in that sense, civil Rome.
So look, you have types. Yeah, sorry, go ahead.
Bro, this is capitalism, bro.
Listen, Jack, the same way the Jewish lobby 2,000 years ago leveraged the Roman state to kill our Lord Jesus Christ, they're doing it now with Rome to try and get Rome to deal with Persia. It's the same shit.
Yeah.
God, bro. If I was a Mexican, listen, if I was a Mexican or African Catholic, I would cope like this too.
This is actually true. Like, we don't need simple states whatsoever. Like, I mean, we'll still have our faith with or without, 1,000,001 empires.
But why doesn't Rome respect the Pope? I don't they respect Catholicism.
Well, I mean, they never originally did. I mean, they crucified Peter. The upside down cross.
Today, like the Christian version of Rome.
Yeah, I'm saying we never say this version of Rome is Christian. We just say it's civil Rome. The only Christian Rome that exists is the Catholic Church. Everything else is just like, fucking how can these guys not score?
The truth is, none of the two Abrahamics, none of the two Abrahamics need a state to establish religion. You're right.
Yeah, no, we don't.
Beautifully said. There's only one amongst them who requires a state to establish land. Like land, as the land is like, pointing out.
Nardis, are you saying this because you guys are losing your only good state, or what?
No, man. I'm just saying ideologically, no ideology requires a state to assert truth.
Right.
This one particular religion, Judaism, happens to be the only freaking religion that requires a state to assert its truth.
No, Nardis is actually correct. Like, when you see Catholics, like in the civil sense, Rome worshiping and being like, oh, Pax Romana, Pax Americana, it's really just like, how the fuck do you not play that? Anyway, sorry. It's really just a civilizational adoption LARP. We don't need it. I mean, if
it requires material to assert godhood. Like, how absurd is that? You need land on Earth that is temporal. Okay.
For the eternal and transcendent.
For an eternal to exist. How bizarre is that? How illogical is that? How materialistic is that?
Exactly.
What kind of truth is that? It's false.
Precisely, which is why we divide between ecclesiastical Rome and civilizational Rome. Now, ecclesiastical Rome, like we said, we don't need a single state. Now, civilizational Rome, yes, is it satanic? Absolutely. But so was it back in the days as well. Now, it's also where I'm from. So I might as well have, the place where I'm from be the powerful satanic state, since all states are kind of satanic, This isn't
like Islam and Christianity expanded based on this is not cope. This is ideological truths. Islam and Christianity that expanded still didn't require a state to assert their truth value. Like, even if there wasn't a tiniest piece of land, okay, assigned, okay, to, say, the Muslims or the Christians, Christianity and Islam still lives on, right? Because it doesn't depend on a piece of land or on a location. Because its message is said to be eternal. God here is free of, a temporality, of land, of space, of time, etc. This is the only one that either has been fabricated to, assure that land equals God's existence. Do you see how bizarre that is, Baptizer? Do you see how false that is?
Well, yeah, it's perverse. I'm going to put up a PTR that encapsulates this in our ideology very well. If I can just find it. I always lose these when I need them. Oh, okay. Here we go. Refresh, Norges.
Let's look. What did you put on? Learn the difference.
Yep. Hatred of Israel, which is the Catholic Church, is a characteristic of Judaism. The real Israel.
Exactly.
But this guy just said Berbers ain't brown. You're bruh. Come on. Well, what are we doing here?
Better than Italians, bro.
You know what's crazy? I troll Spaniards and I find pics of Algerians that look way whiter than them, and they're just fake, bruh.
Telling you, bro. I don't know how y'all ended up blacker than us.
That's funny, dude. I've seen North Africans that look way whiter than Southern Spaniards, and they cope about it. Some of the Spaniards are like, well, according to these genetic cluster maps. I'm like, bro, if you have to pull out scientific maps to prove that you're white, you already lost the plot, bro.
Facts. Did you have to do that before?
I have to, yes. I always make it a point to tell people that I'm 70% Europe.
Yo, have you ever heard of CI?
They're like, shut the fuck up, you nigger.
Yo, have you ever heard of CI?
CI, who?
Christian Identity.
Oh, yeah, they're retarded. They're like BHI, but for white.
Yeah, they're so fucking retarded.
Yeah, they're like,
what is this?
Oh, you gotta look into it.
So, I ran into them on Twitter. They're too fucking retarded, bro. He's saying that, like, salvation is only for the European white people.
You've been on Twitter, Benny?
Yeah, I've been going on Twitter recently.
Bro,
it's talking about the Pallies?
It's white Hebrew Israelite shit.
It is white Hebrew Israelite, which is funny because I used to call the Ashkenazi Jews white Hebrew Israelites. But these guys are even better than that.
Bro, what are you talking about? I coined that on this app, bro.
I coined it. Shut up.
No, you did not, bro. Ask Mikhail.
I coined it in your room.
Oh my
and you
God.
lost your fucking balls off.
This guy just took credit for my
happened, bro.
Yo, this guy. You know what, bro? Now I know why the Arabs can't stand you.
Bro, I coined it in your room, and you lost your balls off.
You're appropriating their identity, and now you're appropriating a joke that I coined.
Bro, I did it.
How are you any different than an Israeli?
Bro, when has a Mexican ever created anything? Bro, civilization is a fucking cult.
You motherfucker! You just Israeled my joke.
I chewed you, bro.
Betty Goy. Oh man.
Man, the life of a Goy.
Wavy.
What's good? What else? How you doing, bro?
What's good? I'm just chilling.
But yo, what's this fucking cracker Hebrew bullshit? What are they called again?
Which one?
Like the one that Benny was talking about.
Called CI.
Who are these?
White Hebrews. Christian Israelites.
If I put this in Twitter, I'm not gonna find people. Hold on. Do I have to? Hold on. I probably gotta try this in something else.
Christian identity. Yeah.
Christian identity. Bro, okay.
That's kind of a tough one, bro, because like these Hebrew Israelites, they twist the Old Testament to their means. How do you?
These guys twist the New Testament.
How do you twist the New Testament, bro?
What are they saying, Benny? Benny, what are they saying?
That's a tough one.
What is the CI saying? Benny, what is the Christian identity saying?
That salvation is only for white Europeans.
Huh? Say that again.
That salvation is only for the white European man.
What are you saying?
He's saying that it's Christianity for whites only. That's basically.
Yeah, essentially, there's like one verse from the New Testament where it's like the salvation is for like the Galatians and the Scythians, as well as the Judaites or something like that. And then they take that and say, oh, the only people mentioned are like Europeans. But the truth is the Scythians aren't even European. They're like fucking Tartars that like became like invaded Europe essentially. So it's all retarded, to be honest.
Bro, but you know what? A lot of whites think like that.
I would believe that.
Yeah.
But how are they justifying it?
What's up,
Instead of the how you doing, Jay? Can we make Nargis Pakistani again?
No, we're making her Sunni.
How are they like justifying
The same way Gnostics justify their stuff, Jews justify their stuff.
Hey, easy on the mouth.
I'm sorry, but you cannot.
Yeah, be easy on the Gnostics, bro.
You cannot conclude Gnosticism based on the Gospels.
What is Gnosticism?
Oh, it's nice.
It's
like I'm 5 years old. Don't start using big words.
No, I know. I don't even want it.
Gnosticism is haq, and haq is with Gnosticism.
Oh my god.
It's so nice.
Never mind. I'm Googling. Fuck it. You don't want to Google it either. The explanation will be even more. God.
We'll explain it to you some other day.
Okay.
Not from the baptizer. He doesn't understand. Why are you not attracted to it? Baptizer. Why are you not attracted to it? Like, what about
because it's false.
No, I do agree that it's hard to justify Gnosticism with the Gospels that we have. That's why the Gnostics have different Gospels. They say that the truth is actually in different Gospels. So in that respect, I agree.
Everything is false. So,
I mean, the thing is that the Gnostic Gospels are just as old as like the Gospels that we have. So. You can say they're false, sure, but like in terms of historical legitimacy,
I don't deny their historicity, right? But did they come from Christ? Did they come from his apostles? Did they come from the churches?
They claim that they do. That's the thing.
Yeah,
they claim that they do. But here's the who's this? Hello, guys. Hello. The issue is history shows that these guys did not hide their message. They were very public about what they were preaching. They were very public about what their churches were preaching. And the people who hated them were like, yeah, these guys would run into our synagogues shouting, Christ is Lord, and blah, 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 blah.
Well, no, the Gnostics also said Christ.
Yes, but not in the way the Gnostics claim it, right? So the idea that, because a core claim of the Gnostics is that, our knowledge is hidden. We were buried underground. We were in secret, right? The idea that,
actually the Gnostics were very open about their teaching in the early years.
The Gnostics are the very mystics of Christianity. Like, if you don't understand, just because they're not reading it like as apparent scripture, as apparently as like some a layman would read it, it is not to say that the Gnostics did not realize or manifest the truth in between the lines.
This
is what Gnostics do.
Their reading is just a bad self-serving reading of scripture that says that at the end of the day, salvation.
I hate having discourse with people who have opinions rather than providing evidence.
Okay, I'm telling you what they believe. We know what they believe. We know that, yes, they all believe that at one point, ontologically, we had the same nature as God. We degraded into what we are, blah, 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 blah. Okay, so I don't need God. I just work my way back up to being like God. I don't need him to save myself. I can save myself.
It is not to say you are God. It is to say you are in the image of God. This is where, like, you're not understanding the whole philosophy of
well. I just
it is as much to say that you are the reflection of the man and not the man himself.
Why are you guys bringing the Bible and the Quran in space over here?
Well, they're the ones who brought it, not me. You just get angry and I tell them, you know.
No, I need to stop debating people because I'm getting angry and I'm not even on steroids, which is
exactly. It will make you rage. I just told
but you're extremely disingenuous.
I didn't even present my case. That's the sad part of it. You didn't even listen to. You didn't wait. I'll tell you a paper. Maybe you can study it not as a debate.
Can I ask baptizer?
Not as a debate, but more like there's so much to it. There's so many elements.
Despite my for Bani Adam, I'm willing to assign him judgeship on this with baptizer. Okay. Bani and baptizer. We are debating Shi'ism, right? And we're debating it from an academic objective standpoint, right? So what are the parameters? The parameters are Islam. Right? So we're debating this. These are,
You said the parameters are Islam and what else?
No. We're debating Shi'ism, so the parameters, the logical conclusion of the premise is that the parameters of the premise are within Islam and Shia theology. Okay, so my question was to Nargis, according to Shi'ism, they believe in 12 imams, from Ali, starting with Ali and his descendants, right? My question was, why are all the descendants of Hussein compiled the majority of Masums? Where are the descendants of Hassan? Why specifically the descendants of Hussein from his Persian wife? Why? So initially we started, why even have Masums? Well, the evidence is that the Prophet said, I'm leaving the book and my family. That's fine. That's the parameter. I'm leaving the book and my family. So given that the Prophet said that he's leaving his family to the Muslims to lead them from a Shia of Hussein from a Persian wife. And then she goes outside of the premise that we're debating and said, well, how do you know that the Prophet is a prophet from God? How do you know it's all fake? Okay, granted, it's all fake. We're debating this academically. The academic text is that the Prophet is leaving, or the self-proclaimed Prophet is leaving the family, the book and the family. So the logical question that arises from this is why this specific lineage of the family and not the entire family? Am I wrong, Benny and Baptizer?
Well, I mean, the thing is, it's not necessarily a strong argument for or against, because, like, okay, you can have, because as long as it's within the descendants, it doesn't matter particularly which line. But for the same reason, it doesn't matter particularly which line. It also doesn't matter if it just comes from one line either. So it's just not really like.
No, I understand, but
I think it's more so a fraternal issue. No.
They're making the argument that it's a faith claim, much as a prophethood is based on faith claim. If you're doing an internal critique, right? Much as any prophet who comes forth and says, I received a revelation.
You're misunderstanding.
Is the same premise of.
No, you're misunderstanding.
This is what they're setting.
Out of the realm of the conversation. This is what she does.
No, I guess what he's saying.
No, you're not.
I get what he's saying.
No, Prince. I think what it is. I don't know much about Shia, but I think what it is about the lineage, right? So Muhammad never left a male
lineage. This is why you need to define each term, right?
I don't know. I think it's more so.
Who's an imam? Is it lineage based? Is it not? Like these are things you need to establish first.
I'm asking you an academic question, regardless of what you know.
Yeah, like the
It's not academic. It's an internal critique.
No, like the speech of Ghadir. The Ghadir comb thing, right, where he like reads the Quran and the lineage, right, and the family.
Yes.
Okay, so in that case, the family, because we're a paternal, we're patriarchal society, the family has to be from a paternal lineage.
Yes,
right.
Agreed.
So Muhammad didn't have any sons who had sons.
Correct. So he had.
So you would move back a step, right, and you get to Ali. Ali, right?
Agreed.
He was his cousin, so he would have inheritance from a paternal lineage.
Here's the key point, Benny. Ali had two sons, Hassan and Hussein.
Yeah.
And the Shia focus only on the lineage coming of Hussein, and they claim
Hassan
those
dies in the lifetime of Hussein.
Did Hassan, hold on, did Hassan have kids?
Live in the same period of time. That's why I said.
Yeah, I know. No. So Hassan had kids.
Yes.
Hassan had kids. Hassan dies. Hussein is alive still. Therefore, the brother gets the.
That would make sense.
Yeah, and
well, I mean, it depends on your rules of succession, right? So, like, if you take the British.
No, Benny, hold on. How, Benny, again, from an academic perspective, the parameter is the speech of Ghadir. I'm leaving the book and my family. He didn't specify, right? So if he didn't specify, it doesn't matter if Hassan died, because Ali also died. Yeah, so Ali passes it on to his son.
So it's passed on to Hassan.
So who's the older? Hassan or Hussein? Hold on. Who's older? Hassan or Hussein?
Hassan is older, and he dies during the life of Hussein. Yeah.
Okay, and actually, so I get what Prince said. So theoretically, if Hassan is older, then you should take it from Hassan's lineage, not Hussein.
But then it's Ahlul Bayt.
And Hassan had kids, right? Hassan had a male lineage.
He had, but the brother is alive, right?
And Benny,
but he specifies who the Ahlul Bayt is too.
So you ignore Hassan's lineage and you focus on Hussein.
Yes. Do you know why? Benny?
Yeah, that is problematic.
Do you know why?
I'll tell you why, because he also proclaims who the Ahlul Bayt are, right?
Because the wife of Hussein, the Masums that they believe in, all descend from a single Persian wife of Hussein.
Subhanallah.
It's not.
Yeah, sure.
But
here's the thing. This 12er ideology, this is essentially BHI, but from a Persian standpoint.
I don't really see
that's an opinion. Like you're not doing an internal.
I'm literally doing an internal critique.
So basically, like he's also specifying who the Ahlul Bayt is, right? I mean, I have a paper on it.
Yeah, the Ahlul Bayt are not only the descendants of Hussein.
But Benny Adam, we also believe all the prophets came.
That's why I gave you Harun and Musa, right?
Many good. We believe specifically all the prophets came from what's his name, the line of Levi.
No. Absolutely, that's not true. No.
Who did it come from?
There were several prophets that weren't even Israelites.
Okay, yeah, a few exceptions here, but the overwhelming
majority
came from.
Even that's not true. No. I mean, you can say Jacob, maybe, but not Levi specifically.
I'm pretty sure most of them come from Levi.
Guys.
Moses, Elijah.
Why do you guys branch out? Well, please, for the love of God, stop.
No,
we are doing an internal critique.
I'm telling you, listen.
On the, I don't see the.
I'm not a Muslim. For the sake of the conversation, I'm dealing. And stop branching out battles. Don't piss me off.
Bro, I don't know why you're getting.
Because we're doing an internal critique of Shia theology. That's it. We don't have to include the Old Testament at all.
This is an issue.
Because of the rules of succession.
This Nigerian guy. I'm gonna.
No. It's because of the rules of succession in a patriarchal society. It would go from the man to his son to his son to his son. If there's no son, you would move back a step and find the closest male heir.
Yes. But put that on the side for a second. I'm not a Muslim. Okay, for the sake of this conversation, I am coming at this from a purely academic and objective standpoint. The text, the original text that I'm dealing with to explain to myself and to others Shia theology, or one of the main components of Shia theology, is the speech from Ghadir when the Prophet said, I'm leaving to you Muslims, I'm leaving to you the book, the Quran, and my family. Right? it is reasonable to conclude that the Prophet left all of his family to us, right? So the Prophet, yes, he did not have sons, right? He had Fatima, who married Ali. Okay, so we're dealing with the lineage of Ali. As Sunni, I don't believe in that, but for the sake of this argument, I'm not even Muslim, right? So the initial original text deals with the family as a whole. My question is, how did Shia deduce only one line from the family? Where are the rest? And if you claim that all of the Prophet's family are Masoom, which they do, that's how you end up with the descendants of Hussein who are Masoom. Then why aren't all the others Masooms? And why don't you follow all the others? And why don't you include them in your books and your hadith, in your prayers? Why? So Nagas comes and it's faith. It's a faith claim. Of course, all of it is faith claim. But I'm writing a freaking paper on Shia theology, and those are the parameters. You want to talk about Jupiter? You get it? Hello.
Hello.
معلش يا برنسيس ما تزعليش.
شكلك طبعا.
أقول لك على حاجة. طب look. I've been silent this whole time. No, I'm thinking like we're here just to troll the Shias. But I want to say something. According to them, it's by designation, which means that Hassan designated that Hussein will be the next Imam. And that Hussein, after Karbala, the only alive person at the time was Zayn al-Abidin.
Where is the proof that it's by designation?
We don't have proof. For us, we don't have proof and they said such a thing.
No,
they have their own compilations.
No. We do. That's the point. We're dealing with the original text of the father of Islam, astaghfirullah. That's what we're gonna like from an objective standpoint. The father of Islam said, "My family." He designated his entire family. So who the fuck is this Shia piece of shit who claims, "Oh, it's just the descendants of Hussein"? I'm dealing with the original text. Why can't you guys see what I'm talking about? Baptizer, am I going nuts, bro? Am I like, I don't get it.
I mean, I'm approaching it from a logical critique. Like, if you want to say that this isn't the correct line, that's fine. But you want to say that it's an illogical line of descent, I would reject that. I mean, for me, there are much stronger.
Don't believe in all of that theology, but I'm just saying, why one line and not the other?
Because the people have fuck up descendants, bro. Like, you know.
No. Because it refutes their theological divine claim regarding this. That's the point.
What about it? Doesn't
why the Prophet specified? If you can't prove to me the Prophet specified only the descendants of Hussein, you've lost.
No, because
and here's another claim, and I will give you another claim. Yallah, the Prophet said, "I'm leaving the book and my family." Did the Prophet say my family is Muslim?
No, but I mean, with the first one, the issue is all the descendants of Hussein will be descendants of Muhammad anyway.
Saddam, if I could chime in a little bit.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, you're making some really good points. There is, you could argue that there is no direct saying where everybody in my family is Muslim, right? However, there are entailments. For example, why Hussein, right? Well, it would be a very good argument that.
No, let's deal with Muslim first. Do you agree with me that there's no evidence that he said that the family is Muslim?
Not exactly. I agree that there are. You can make the argument either way.
I think you're Shia, but try to come at this from an objective.
Yeah. I'm perfectly along with you. So when we take on, for example, 3333, and we have taharna min al-rijsa.
Yes.
That makes a stronger argument that this particular group from Ahl al-Kisab have a stronger authority, and that's why they would be the 5, which would entail Hussein. So, that would be one claim as to why it went to Hussein instead of any one of the sons of Hassan. Does that make any sense? Or would you agree with that or disagree? I don't know. What do you think of that?
Okay, but you know what the problem with that is? Like, this is gonna, and I didn't want to do this, but this is gonna take us into a much bigger conversation about who is Ahl al-Bayt, because what you have to understand is
I agree with you on that. I consider all.
We can't even approach this without taking into consideration the linguistics of the Arabs at the time and the culture. When we say Ahl al-Bayt at the time, it is understood among the Arab tribes to mean the wives.
That is true.
The wives of the house.
That is true. I'm from Ahl al-Bayt actually as well. And yeah, I agree with you in that sense. I don't have a Hosseini lineage, but to have, for example, we know the evidence is we have the hadith from both Sunni and Shia. Actually,
Ahmad, can you help me with something?
Sure.
Okay. And please, like, put your Shia bias on the side. So,
no worries. I'm probably the most unbiased.
He's not Shia, bro. Chill.
Oh, he's not Shia. Thank God. Okay. Just kidding.
I mean, some will consider me Shia, some will not. So it just really depends.
You're a heretic. It's okay.
Yeah, alhamdulillah.
So I'm willing to accept all of this. I'm willing to accept the family is Muslim. Okay, the descendants are Imam and they're Muslim. My question to you is, where's the evidence that it stops at number 12? And why aren't the descendants of the 12 Imams who live among us today are not Muslim? And why are they not Imams?
This is an excellent question. For those who accept critical history, then the 12 specifically becomes problematic as why it stops at 12. However, at the same time, when we go back and examine, we have within even just within Sunni sources, we have the narrations of the 12. So 12. When I was looking into this,
can you
I asked. I don't have it off the top of my head, brother. I'd have to look it up for you.
Look it up, please.
You don't know about it? Let's see. I have it in a. Ironically, I have it in a Shia book because they pointed it out. But
so, are you Shia? But the Shia don't consider you to be Shia because you have some different beliefs.
Wait, so Muhammad,
something like that.
You don't think that the Prophet said in his hadith that there will be 12 khulafa or 12 imams who will in which the religion will remain aziz, so that يبقى الدين فيه aziz? You don't.
No, I don't. No, that's there. That's there. That's what I'm saying. Is that is there.
So that's the hadith you use as the evidence that you will have 12 imams, right?
I don't make that argument, but that is one of the arguments. No, that is one of the arguments. That's what I'm saying.
One of them. Okay.
Cool. What is that hadith called? Can you explain it to me? I've never.
في حديث عن النبي عليه الصلاة والسلام حديث صحيح. In English, I'll translate it as best as I can. It says that Islam will remain a strong religion until during 12 khulafa or 12 caliphs after me, and then after the 12th caliph it will start failing. There are many opinions regarding.
Let's say 12 caliphs.
I think in the hadith it says khulafa. It says khulafa.
If it says khulafa objectively, we cannot enter this evidence.
So it differs between
none of those imams were khulafa.
So it differs. Correct. No, some of them were, but none of them.
Only Adi.
And Hassan.
Oh, okay. Okay, two.
Yeah, the idea is it differs between the Shia and Sunni interpretation, and the Sunnis have different interpretations between each other. Yeah, just to be clear, we also interpret it differently. The Shias will use this as evidence of their 12 imams. For us, there are some interpretations. Some say it ends at Hisham ibn Abd al-Malik. Hisham ibn Abd al-Malik is the Umayyad Khalifa. And some others say we don't know. Some others pick in a different order. It doesn't mean necessarily that they are all after each other. It differs between.
They can't name more than 6 from the Sunnis.
Sorry?
They can't name more than 6 or 7 from the Sunnis.
No, you can. You can. You can. No, I can name it right now if you want. But it's basically starting from the Abu Bakr Siddiq until Hisham ibn Abd al-Malik. After, by the way, after Hisham ibn Abd al-Malik's death, the Umayyad Caliphate started to collapse. So it's like it could be like evidence. After that was Al-Walid, Khalifa Al-Walid, who we call Walid al-Fasiq. He's basically when he started ruling, the Caliphate started to collapse, and eventually, after a few years, the Abbasids took over. So, depending on how you count it, though, I personally don't know, but some consider it like that after Hisham ibn Abd al-Malik.
Yeah, I think that's people do try to make that argument, but it's really a stretch though with that.
Of course, it's a stretch.
It's a very big stretch.
Huge, and then they're struggling to find names.
Yeah, I would say the
largest I can name
when we're sticking within the Ahl al-Bayt, there's a much stronger argument, whether you're an Ismaili or a Zaydi or even a 12er. The only problem with the 12er is we reach to the Imam al-Muntazar, who suddenly disappears. Either he was born and lived secretly and then died, or he wasn't born at all.
That out actually. Like if you're going through historical critical method, then that becomes like a big question mark. I think it's esoteric for you are the Mahdi, like live like one, etc. So this whole hiding business, I don't know. It's more like a message saying that live like us, and you're the 12, something to that effect. I mean, the Ismailis don't take that, but I think that a more honest 12er, if they made that claim, that would be a more reasonable claim than to say that he is in hiding and will appear, which is the traditionalist Shia claim. So, I mean, Modarisi has some good work on how the 12th, is really not the 12th. So,
Hamad, where are you from?
Me? Yeah. I am in California right now.
Are you Arab or South Asian?
I'm Bahraini and Danish California.
he's a white boy, he lives by me.
Your dad is Bahraini?
I'm Bahraini.
And the Farsi?
لا هولي.
No Farsi. Mohammed lives by me. He's a lovely person.
The Sunnah is to be whatever is correct. That's why. So therefore, there are things from Shia schools that are mythologies, and there are things from the Sunni schools that are mythologies.
Myths and legends, yeah, exactly.
When something is not, when something is not.
Name me one thing that Sunnis engage with that result in shirk.
Well, that result in shirk. Well, I don't consider anything that, or most of the stuff that Shia do to be shirk. So
yeah, Ali Madad.
None of that. Yeah, none of that is shirk to me.
Why are you calling on a dead man?
That's a different subject. We weren't even discussing this.
Be reasonable. You know it doesn't make any sense.
He's not like methodical in the way he thinks.
Muhammad is dead. Well, I can stand.
Why are we switching the subject? Why are we switching the
subject?
Read the title.
This wasn't the subject though.
Make
he's not methodical. That's ironic.
That's not the subject. Even Sunnis use madad. and tawassul and istighatha and all of the everything.
The real Sunnis use istighatha from
and the Sunnis, the Sufis.
Okay, first, Prince, are you a Salafi Wahhabi? Is that your
Salafi
position?
Wahhabi. Yeah.
Okay, I mean very clearly. First of all, your position contradicts the Quran.
I don't put labels. So.
Okay, well, me neither, because I aim for the truth, right? So the labels don't really matter to me. Neither do
the
boxes of
you
schools,
can
right?
disagree with many things that Salafis do, but I'm telling you, like the main thing to me is that none of them result in shirk like Shia.
I would disagree. I would say the entire Salafi school is shirk.
It's based on falsehood.
I would say it's even
based on truth.
Give me an example.
Because you refuse to follow. Do you take Ali as the appointed leader after the Prophet?
How is that shirk?
That is shirk.
You know what shirk is?
Do you take any? Is it a Sharia mandate? What if the Prophet appoints somebody as he has my authority, right? Which I accept that this the Prophet's authority, that man ana awla alasta ana awla minkum, and everyone said yes.
Even
because
that is absolutely shirk.
That is shirk. You're not doing as your Rasul.
Shirk. No,
that is 100% shirk, because in the way that we have taken an authority, a Sharia, other than what Allah has given us.
Do you know what the definition of shirk is?
We can have different definitions.
No, you can't.
Yes, we can.
You have taken authority other than God. You
have taken an authority, a Sharia, other than from Allah.
Yeah, so you worship something else.
That is no. Hold on. I'm gonna tell you.
That is shirk.
No.
I'm taking an authority and a Sharia other than from Allah.
No, not true. If you don't rule with Sharia, then you've committed kufr, not shirk. You don't understand the definition of
shirk. An authority other than God is assigning authority to something else. When authority to something else is assigned, then there are two gods, Allah and that other authority.
I don't understand if the Prophet wanted to appoint Ali, he would have said it.
He did? It's mutawatir.
Bro, that's raw.
100,000. The most related hadith in the Sunni and the Shia corpus. Completely looks over.
Your hadith of the Prophet saying very similar things about Umar or Abu Bakr.
Except it was not done in hadith,
except that they are all weak. Every single one of them. How do I know? Because I looked into it. Every single one of them.
No, not true. The things he said about Abu Bakr are sahih.
Are they mutawatir?
They also take place in
none of them are mutawatir. So yes, it does. In my methodology, it does, because they contradict each other.
Your methodology is irrelevant because you're taking our ilm al-rijal and applying it to you. It's ours. We decide what is it, not you.
No, ilm al-rijal. Let's agree that it's a methodology, okay?
No, it's the Sunni
methodology. There's usuli, there's rijali, there's akhbari, there's so many methods.
It is, brother, hold on. Let's calm down, because I don't really care who has what, who doesn't have.
Shia don't have sunnah. It's ilm al-rijal, it's Sunni.
Shias have usuli, Shias have akhbari, Shias have rijal. There's many methods.
Shias also, actually what you're saying is wrong. It's actually wrong.
Where's my
well, Shia also have
Shia
also have rijal. Shia also have sanad. Shia also have silsilas. They have chains.
Shia don't.
Study them. Yes, they do.
Everything you're saying is completely wrong.
Shia don't.
Everything you're saying is a lie.
It's something you've heard. We are telling you. We can provide evidence for it.
I mean, I can give you 10 chains off of right now.
Omar entering the house of Ali and breaking the rib of Fatima. Is that sahih?
Yeah, look how he like shifts the goalpost. He goes to a particular bit
because you don't have that. That's the point.
He doesn't debate logic.
Why are you making a claim? Why are you jumping to one argument to another when I haven't made that argument?
Your mind doesn't rationally think.
You're shifting your goalposts. You're shifting your goalposts.
Hold on, the Shia don't have Sahih Hassan Da'if?
No, they don't.
Yes, they do.
No, they don't. Okay, it's Ali. It's
They do. They use the Usuli, Akhbari, and Rijal.
Ali and Omar entering the house of Ali.
It's a particular. It doesn't matter.
It's extremely live.
Bring me the evidence from the book right now. It says live.
It's extremely live.
No, go ahead. You have 2 minutes.
How do I know? Because there's only one witness.
No.
Hold on. Is there any of your scholars that sat down and actually graded all of your hadith?
No.
Like Sahih and Bukhari.
Yes.
They sat down and they graded, right?
Yes, they do. Okay. Hold on, and let's not call them my scholars. They are just simply scholars from a different school.
Yeah, I'm not saying you in particular, like your groups.
Benny.
I don't claim them as my scholars.
Hold on. It's very easy. Refute me right now. Bring that hadith from the book. I think it was in Al-Anwar.
That particular hadith? Why should I bring that one? I agree with you on that one.
He agrees with you.
Are you deaf? I just told you. I agree with you that didn't happen.
Majlisi.
No. You said it was da'if. But more importantly, what he's asking you.
Benny, trust me, they don't have Sahih and Da'if. They don't.
There is a method of gradation. Don't be a jahil.
Okay, bring, show us the book where it says Da'if. Show us.
It's Allah Majlisi's book.
Yalla, bring it. Listen, Benny, this is what they do. They compile a whole bunch of hadith in a single book, and there's no da'if and sahih. And some don't even have isnad and
they have isnad. They have
the Akhbari stick only sanad. Bro, these are all claims. This is sounding jahil. If you're an academic, nobody would take it seriously.
Bring it. Okay, why are you guys talking? Just bring it.
Okay, just go get Al-Kafi and open it up and see if they have chains.
Okay, bring Al-Kafi and show me sahih and da'if. You see, they pick and choose. So if you ask us,
you mean if it specifically says a gradation is a sahih or da'if?
I can't find
that depends on. I suppose that depends on the book. Is it in Al-Kafi specifically? I don't think so. That would be according to. You would have to look at the gradations from Maraja themselves.
Oh, where's good? Did they leave? I can't find my wallet, bro. What the?
I have Al-Kafi right here in front of you.
Oh my God, did I? No, I didn't.
Why are we jumping like? You just jumped like 5 different subjects in 5 minutes since I came out.
They're not logically sequenced. They're not rational arguments. There's a mix of particular.
Your original discussion was why Hussein.
The moment I pick up like a lack of like logical sequencing in the way a dialogue is,
it's completely illogical.
I completely like back off because
he couldn't hold his first argument.
Yeah, he couldn't hold it. It's a very biased way of looking at things.
He told me, he asked me not to be biased. I agreed because I'm not biased.
He's so biased.
I'm probably the only one who isn't biased.
Yes.
What's my first argument?
Your first discussion was about why Hussein instead of Hassan.
Yeah, you didn't prove it.
It's not about proving. I gave you a discussion as to why Hussein would be a logical reason to go forth because he is an Ahl al-Kisa. He's one of the 5 main leaders. Therefore, he's still leading, and that would be the authority of where you would go to. That's very reasonable. That's a very reasonable position, I think.
No, it's not because you're bringing proof from something in the Shia books. That
you mean from the Quran? Yeah,
it's from the Quran and it's mutawatir. Sorry, it's mutawatir, Sunni sources and Shia sources. It's extremely mutawatir. Look it up, buddy. You have a computer, right?
What does it say?
What does it say? What does what say?
What does the Quran say about Hussein?
That he's a part of the Mutahirin. That he's a part of the Mutahirin, right? Okay. Do you? I'm talking specifically about Ahl al-Kisa. This is a hadith.
You said the Quran says it's mutahirin, right? The Quran says that Ahlul Bayt is mutahirin. Which also means only the wives of the Prophet. No problem. I agree with that. No problem. But Ahlul Kisa is not one of them. No, she's not. Ahlul Kisa, she is. Ahlul Kisa, you can't, look, man, if you reject Ahlul Kisa, you have a very big problem. All right? You're not even a Sunni at that point. All right? You're probably a Zionist Jew or something. Ahlul Kisa is a very big part of Sunni theology. Okay? It's not a Shi'i thing. It's an everybody thing. If you're a Muslim, Ahlul Kisa is important to you. And Hassan, Hussein, Fatima, Ali are all part of Ahlul Kisa. Ahlul Kisa? I've never heard this term before. That's a very big problem. Well, I'm not. Why? Sorry, Benny Goy. You just came up. Are you a Sunni, Shia, non-Muslim? Non-Muslim. Okay. So the reason why
logically there's no sequencing. I stopped engaging a while ago because my mind doesn't take lack of sequencing.
The reason why most Sunni, probably most majority.
This is from the hadith about Muhammad grabbing the cloak and then covering it.
Yes.
Okay.
Right. So this is a part of both Sunni and Shia theology, right? And it's very strong. It has a lot of evidences for it. Has a lot of chains for it. But people want to dance around these things, and it's connected to the Quran. And so it produces a strong argument. No, it doesn't. It doesn't. How does it not? It doesn't. I'll tell you why it doesn't. And compared to what? Omar? And compared to what? Abu Bakr? Yes, there are many. No, they're broken. The chains that you're talking about Omar and Abu Bakr, they're broken chains. Or they go through a singular chain. Okay, it's like a singular chain. Ahad. Right? You know what's funny? You're using the methodology that the Sunnis developed and use it to convince us what it means and it doesn't mean. It doesn't work that way. To us, it doesn't matter if it's mutawatir or not. Most of our hadith are not mutawatir. To us, what matters is da'if or sahih. No, that's wrong. That's wrong. What you're saying is wrong. It matters. What you're saying is wrong. You're lying about your own about the Sunni system. I have a question. You're lying about the Sunni system. No, you're right in that most of the hadith are not mutawatir. Okay. Do we follow those hadith or no? Yeah, but see that again. No. But hold on, Prince. It would matter on who you ask. Like this was the point of the conjunction with the Mu'taziliyya. Yeah, Mu'taziliyya. They only took Sahih Mutawatir, right? Ya Habibi, Mu'tazila or nobody's talking about mainstream Sunnis. Well, back in the day, they were mainstream Sunni. Ya Habibi, Mu'tazila was not okay, and they're gone. They were gone. Yeah, they're gone now. But that's the thing is that historically speaking. Yeah, Habibi, historically speaking, Mu'tazila is only a short period of time in Islam history. Yeah, but a pretty significant period of time under which, their methodology was significant. Sufis were significant in Ottoman. Sufis are still significant. They're still significant. Sufis are very important. I'm talking about the group that I'm talking about. You guys do this with hardship where you go to a fringe minority and you want to apply it to mainstream. The point is, us as Sunnis, historically and today,
the Salafi is a minority. The majority Sunni position is Ash'ari.
It's mutawatir. No. If it's mutawatir, there's even more legitimacy. But listen, if a hadith is mutawatir, it outweighs ahad. Okay? If a hadith contradicts, hold on, Prince. If a hadith is singular, ahad, you can take it, but it does not become. If it's not, you cannot force it to be aqidah. You believe if you refuse to take hadith, Prince, don't say us Sunnis. Prince, don't say us Sunnis because you're not following a traditional, authentic Sunni position.
Salafis are very small minority.
If they refuse hadith, I challenge you. Salafis are not Salafis or Salafis. You're not Sunni. I challenge you to bring me a single Islamic scholar that says we refuse hadith or ahad. 90% of our hadith is ahad.
No. He's not saying that they refuse ahad. He's saying that the ones that are mutawatir have more authority than the ones that are ahad.
Yes, if they contradict each other. Listen, Prince, you're making a straw man. You're lying against me, huh?
We take all hadith, mutawatir, and ahad as significant.
Yes, they are. Listen.
Yes, but the ones that are mutawatir have more legitimacy, more credibility than the ones that are ahad.
It does. If they contradict each other, which one do you take? If they contradict each other, which one do you take?
Mutawatir, of course.
You have to take mutawatir. It is wajib. At that point, you must take mutawatir.
Don't make abstract statements, Bring me the evidence that we have contradictory hadith.
Listen, we have contradictory hadith.
Oh my God.
In fact, Bukhari I'll lay another bombshell on you. Bukhari has over 1,000 hadith by somebody who was a liar. How about that bombshell?
What's his name?
Sahih al-Bukhari has over 1,000 narrations from somebody who was a liar and mudallis.
Okay, bring it. What's the evidence that he was a liar and mudallis?
What's the evidence? Is that all of the madhahib, including the Malikiya and everybody that was with him in Medina, stopped taking from him when he moved to Kufa.
Bring the name and bring the evidence that they did it.
Look up Imam Malik and what he said about, what was his name? Yahya? No, not Yahya.
Yalla, bring it.
The person who gave the chain for Aisha being 6 and 9. It's a fabrication.
Bring the name, ya Habibi. Bring the name and bring the evidence from Maliki, from...
look it up. I'm not going to do your homework for you. Look it up.
You make it play, bring the
Look it up. Look it up. Really, and anybody listening.
I didn't want to take it.
For anybody listening,
your whole religion will be destroyed.
Everything Prince has been saying
your whole religion will be destroyed.
Get the fuck down, you Farsis. You're gonna teach us Islam. One is a Farsi in Bahrain who became Arabized, and the other one is a Persian perennialist. Bring the evidence. You made a lot of claims in abstract. Bring the evidence. Prove me wrong. Shit on me in front of all these people. Bring me evidence that Maliki said this guy has 1,000 hadith and he's a mudallis.
What I said is that Maliki says we do not take from this person anymore. Hold on. What am I saying? Maliki said we do not take from him at this stage when he went to Kufa because his memory was no good. They gave him an excuse. But what is the reality? The reality is he is a mudallis.
2 minutes ago he was a mudallis.
Yeah, he is a mudallis.
Now it's about memory?
Look, can you just
You're full of shit. Wallah, you're full of shit. He wants to teach me how we Sunnis take our hadith. Habibi, Benny, don't make claims you don't understand. Go ask any Sunni, online, offline, go check the scholars. To us, mutawatir doesn't have more significance. As long as the hadith is sahih, ahad, or mutawatir, we take it. Period.
No, but the mutawatir has this higher degree of significance.
In fact, we say yes, but we still take it.
No, nobody's saying you don't take it. Nobody's saying you don't take ahad hadith. So we're saying that the mutawatir has more legitimacy, more credibility than and dude, just think about it, man. If you heard something from one person and you heard something from several people,
I know, but
obviously you're gonna take the one from several people that's more legitimate.
What does it matter if the outcome is the same if you're taking from both?
No, because in the case of a contradiction, you would refer to the multiple sources. That's why you're saying that
it's an
mutawatir a'la min al-ahad.
Again, it's an abstract statement that doesn't mean shit. Bring me a contradiction from ahad and mutawatir and show me that we went with the mutawatir because there's a contradiction. Yalla.
Okay.
That's the point. You guys keep making statements and generalities because you know once you get into the details, you look like a fucking clown. It's like a Qurani. Oh, if the hadith contradicts the Quran, That's why I take the Quran. Okay, bring me the hadith that contradicts the Quran. Nothing.
I mean, there are, but I don't want to get.
Okay, bring them. Again, abstracts. They hide in the generalities. Because once we get to the details and I start dissecting, they look like a clown. Like Muhammad down there. First, the guy was a mudallis. And Maliki said he's a mudallis. And now Maliki said he has memory issues. Damn. So fucking disingenuous. And no, Muhammad, you did not make the claim. You did not prove the claim that Hussein, that the Masumins are from Hussein. You did not prove that claim. Because you can't. Your entire theology is fucking made up. The Prophet said really nice things about Umar, about Abu Bakr, and it's Sahih. And he said nice things about Salman al-Farisi and other people, just like they did with Ali. It doesn't mean that he appointed Ali. The Prophet can't speak, can't say clearly in Ghadir, Ali is the Caliph after me. He couldn't say that. He had to leave it, make a broad statement about his love for Ali instead of saying, make him the Caliph, the Khalifa. What a bunch of retards. And I don't have a problem if he was the first Caliph. The Khalifa doesn't matter to me. It doesn't change anything in the core beliefs. But it does to you guys, because you guys' religion is just like the Jews. Oh, what a coincidence that they all follow Masums from a Persian woman. Yeah, subhanallah. Maternal, just like the Jews. Yeah, subhanallah. What a coincidence. Oh, rich to Ahlul Bayt. He's talking about his wives. Ahlul Bayt are the wives. That's how the Arabs understood Ahlul Bayt. Even today, traditional Arabs, even in Bani Adam's shitty Syrian shows, when they say Ahl Bayti means my women, my wives, my daughter. Well, today it means some say includes daughters, but back then it meant wives. These fuckers just make shit up and hope it sticks. Niggas. Ali is dead. Hassan is dead. Hussein is dead. Fatma's dead. You're just like the Catholics. You stole from the Jews and you stole from the Catholics. Catholics don't pray for faith. You're saying for the Masoom. Go stand next to the grave of the Prophet and scream until next year. Ya Muhammad. He can't hear you, bro. He's dead. He's a man. Wallah, this is why we Sunnis are the purest of this planet. Only oneness of Allah. Only oneness. None of that bullshit. Nigga. Come on, Minnesota.
Hello?
I can't hear anybody.
No, you're good.
Okay. What happened? The room changed?
No, talk until Prince comes. When it comes to Prince comes back, he's gonna move you down again. No, we weren't talking. No, listen.
Everything after, like.
So I checked it on ChatGPT. I put a prompt like what would happen if there was a conflict, and there actually is. It's not like major, but like there was a.
Oh, citizens of the temple! With but a flick of my third eye, I shall command the pituitary gland and balance the hormones of the universe. Witness! That is definitely not the spell book. Hey! Oh, citizens of.
I sit still and listen to my own breath. I can feel the switch inside my head. The hypothalamus lights up first.
Pulled into the lab and found this glowing map of the.
If you want to get polemical, you can use the one with the hadith that talks about him being affected by Sahar. And the Quran says that no Sahar shall touch him, right?
No. We're not talking. We're saying that like if you have a hadith that's ahad, and you have a hadith that's mutawatir, and there's any kind of conflict between the two, you would go with the mutawatir as opposed to the ahad, even if both of them are sahih.
You know,
I mean, it just makes sense.
Yes, you have to, because when you have two contradictions, you're gonna just take the weakest evidence. That's illogical.
I mean, that would also be the explanation of HCM for like Jesus being crucified, right? So HCM will say that because the testimony was so much, like that many thousands of people, whatever, witnessed it, therefore it is true, right? And similarly, like a testimony in court is evidence. So the more, the merrier. And that would hold true for like hadith or anything as a principle that would hold true. So like these people just don't want to engage like I don't know.
Again, read the fucking contradiction. Bring them, show them, see.
Why are you being disrespectful? You can just engage. No. Like this is why like I don't hold to any of this. By the way, none of this matters to me. If you're having like an academic discussion, none of this, I don't own anything, I don't hold to anything.
The entire conversation was just entirely bad faith, Prince.
Yeah, it's not based on like
prejudice. You assume that I'm lying. You assume that I'm taking a shitty 12 position.
In fact, he doesn't even take any of this, and neither do I.
It's actually, in fact, you lied against me because I didn't make the claims that you said I did. You didn't even listen. You just got defensive and emotional.
محمد انت بحراني او عجمي؟ هولي يعني انت سني.
نعم.
Okay.
It comes from government spending too as well, right? I think that people miss that. We had
right.
No, هولي. In Bahrain, there's four kinds. There's four kinds of Bahrain. البحراني, الهولي, والعجمي. الهولي is a Sunni from a Persian background.
Anyway, backgrounds are irrelevant in an academic conversation. I only care about the academics. This was supposed to be an academic conversation.
But I told him I don't hold to any of these.
Can you guys hear me? Hello?
I mean, at this point, I'm not even sure if it's worth listening to.
Yeah, bro.
Oh, he's saying
No, we can't hear you anymore. You went
I don't hear him. So in many of the Sunni schools, in madhahib, each one has a slightly different methodology. We can agree that they have differences. But when there is a singular ahadith, a ahad, even if it's sahih, if it's ahad, then you can accept it, but it does not apply necessarily to, for example, positions of aqidah, positions of theology. Within the Salafi school, however, that's completely different. So we can agree that we have a very different methodology, and that's just a fact. I don't accept that a ahad hadith can be compulsory, that we must take it. even if it is sahih. And especially if it contradicts a mutawatir hadith, then I'm going with the mutawatir. You can't shift.
Took a fucking nap. I woke up and you guys are arguing in my ear, bro.
I can see, like, if you hold to a position, right, how emotional this can be, or like close to home this can be. If you don't hold to a position, it's much easier to sort of,
And Prince, you wanted the evidence. I think somebody put it in the chat actually about the hadith that I was talking about. You can look it up.
Dude, remember those guys used to do these polemical arguments, Mohammed?
I really hate polemics. I really do.
They used to do this 24 hours, the Rafid and group and those.
I hate all polemics.
I learned all this from them. I didn't even know these existed. I had no idea. But it allowed me to actually go research, and I think I'm quite grateful for that. Now, can all of them be debunked? Absolutely. All these are debunkable. And all these are acceptable too. It's just, eventually it ends up in like where you put your faith in and how you approach truth. If you're approaching it truly through like a rational means, through like credible sources, as much as we can get a hold of, then that is what I will accept, right? So irrespective of who's who and what holds what.
Yo, Benny Adam. What's up, man? Hey, you're Orthodox. Yeah. Do you agree with me that you sometimes come upon somebody who's Orthodox, like Lupsik, who makes wild claims that are not within the faith or is not mainstream in Orthodoxy? Somebody makes a claim that's not mainstream Orthodox.
Welcome to the Temple of Thought.
Right
Here, we shape ideas with stones. The brain before you is not merely sculpture, it is memory given light. Focus on its rhythm and you'll come to the temple.
Armenians are Oriental Orthodox, not Eastern. Be that as it may, the point is there are people who can claim they're Sunni, they're Shia, but they make wild claims that are not mainstream, nor accurate. And that's what Muhammad is doing. It is not true. He didn't make any claims. He did. It is not true that Sunnis reject a single ahad hadith. A single ahad hadith. We don't. No, he never said that they do. And again, I'm holding. He never said that they do. He said,
no, he said in the traditional madahib, in the four madahib, okay, I don't know, but I'm not familiar with Hanbali. Best. Okay. Especially for Maliki, you don't hold a Maliki Shafi'i, you don't hold necessarily that a singular hadith can be forced as a aqidah. You can accept it, but it does not become necessarily a aqidah.
Who said it's who said hadith is aqidah to begin with? Are you crazy? You know what aqidah is? Bro, this guy could just throw words and think it's gonna stick because he argues, because he debates with non-Arab Muslims. Aqidah has nothing to do with hadith. Are you crazy? Yes, Aqidah has nothing to do with hadith. No, it doesn't. It doesn't. Okay. Yallah, bring the proof. Yallah, bring the proof.
Maliki and the Hanafi, the hadith is a part of Aqidah. All right? It does have to do with it. Where are you going to get from them?
It's Aqidah, but you claiming that the hadith is the Aqidah.
You're making something else that I
don't know. Again, you do this shit. You do this shit. When you get called out to the gospel,
why do you keep making stuff up?
Okay,
that's what I want to know.
Did you or did you not
stuff up about
me? Did you or did you not claim that Anas bin Malik is a mudallis according to Malik.
Anas bin Malik. No.
Yes.
No.
You fucking nigger.
No. Don't. And then please don't curse. It's Ramadan, and I have my daughter with me. Okay. I have my children with me. Please don't curse.
You did.
No, that wasn't my claim. Again, you have a problem
to say that there's 1,000 hadith. There's 1,000 hadith.
Some
yeah.
It's a sampan, not a smack.
One second. Your prince. Can you hear me? Yeah. Hard to hear you, bro. Listen, guys, don't cuss and chill out. Prince, don't cuss, bro. He's with this kid. We can't hear you at all. We can't hear you at all, bro.
He said there's a Sahabi who has 1,000 hadith.
Holly, do a reset on your point. You got to start over, brother. Sorry.
Oh, no, man.
Look, here's my whole point.
Where he was sitting, and there was more than 6,000 people in the room. So
Lion points out, I forget, I think it was in the 13th juz. I forget the surah was pointed at. Allah says that if Allah chose,
that was the Christ. Some of them said that was the Christ in 1818. And then we say that no, that prophet like Moses there isn't Jesus. It's not him. He's not the final.
Hey, mommy.
In a couple of minutes, I will give the room rules, and that will take us to the top of the hour. And Gary's opening salvo, which hopefully will encourage you to come up to the stage and join Alan and I here. Brian, welcome to the room. India, nice to see you. And India, welcome to the stage. India, are you in India?
Yes, I am in India, Gary.
Yes, you're an Indian girl, and I can tell that you're in India. Sarah there is also in India, so wave to each other. I just saw a very interesting story that made me sit up and take notice about the various Jewish populations in India that have been there for centuries, and how they were formed or where they migrated from. And apparently, according to this piece that I saw today, anti-Semitism is about unheard of in India. Very interesting. In fact, they interviewed a Muslim store owner in the heart of a Jewish neighborhood. It was really quite interesting. It was a great interview. Let's see. Well, before I welcome other people to the room, it actually is time for the room rules. We are here Monday through Friday from 5 p.m. to 6 p.m. New York time. Top of the hour, I'll give my opening salvo, which hopefully will encourage you to come up on the stage and join Alan and India and me. Or anytime in the next hour, something is said on the stage, piques your interest and makes you want to participate. Raise your hand and you will be invited onto the stage as well. Or you can come up now in anticipation of what you might want to say based on the topic of the room. I call people in the order in which I see them on the stage, which may not coincide with the order in which you see yourself, So if it appears that I have skipped over you, worry not. It just means I see you further down in the queue on my handheld device than where you see yourself on yours. I always get to everyone who's on stage and in queue. Generally speaking, after people speak, they are removed from the stage to the audience. This is not punitive in nature, but a way to make it possible for yours truly to continue to maintain that aforementioned queue, not lose my place, basically. If that happens to you and you want a second go at it, raise your hand. Time permitting, you'll be invited back on the stage for a second opportunity to speak. Because we are here from 5 p.m. to 6 p.m. New York time at about 5 minutes to 6, we will no longer be inviting people on the stage, but if at the 6 o'clock hour you are on stage and in queue, we will go into extra time to give everyone in queue an opportunity to speak. Marshall, welcome to the stage. Unlike many of the other rooms on Clubhouse, in the Critical Thinking Forum, we speak one at a time. We do not interrupt one another. We treat one another with a degree of decorum and respect, even when we vehemently disagree. And for that, I thank you in advance. And by the way, the same rules go with regard to treatment of one another in the chat, which is linked above, that everybody can join. It's open 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. The main chat on Facebook Messenger. Today, I removed a number of comments because people were getting personal with one another. And we would rather that folks attack the topic, the idea, rather than one another. And I have pretty much a zero tolerance for that kind of nonsense any longer. Also, if a moderator asks you a question while you're on the stage, please do not take this as an attempt by us to start an argument with you. It just means we have a question to ask. Welcome to the stage, Wesley, as well. And in the room, I want to very quickly welcome Daniel Duran, Monsef the Maestro, Kowarski, Andrew, Barbara, Sue, Larry, Dr. Francine, Jebediah, Denise, Igor.